Do you let the fear of failure keep you from stepping out? Let's talk about it in your morning cup of inspiration. Thanks for joining me. There's a great story in the Bible on failure, and many of you know it and have heard it. I want to share it with you this morning and then share a thought with you. It's Peter walking on the water, and it's in Matthew, the 14th chapter. Let me quickly read. It's about 4 o'clock in the morning, and Jesus was walking toward them on the boat, on the water. And they were afraid out of their wits, and they cried, "A ghost!" And they cried out in terror. But Jesus was quick to comfort them. He said, "Take courage, it's me, don't be afraid." And Peter suddenly, boldly said, "Master, if it's you, call me to come out to you on the water." And Jesus said, "Well, come on ahead." So he jumped out of the boat, and you know the story. He started walking on the water toward Jesus. He looked down. He became fearful, seeing the waves, and began to sink. Jesus reached out his hand, pulled him in, saved him, and the two of them climbed back into the boat, and the winds died down. A couple things I want you to think about as we reflect on that story today. Peter was afraid. Everyone was afraid. They thought they'd seen a ghost. They weren't sure it was Jesus. But what did Peter do? With the faith he had, the little faith he had, he stepped out of the boat and began walking toward Jesus. If you have a little faith, that's all you need to move you toward Jesus. Yes, failure is part of faith. Failure is part of growing our faith. And Peter failed in that he looked to the waves and began to sink. But who were the true failures? In my opinion, the true failures were the other 11 that did not get out of the boat. They were so fearful, they didn't know if it was a ghost or Jesus, and they refused to even move. That did not draw them closer to Jesus, did it? Whatever faith you have today, don't let the thought of failure keep you from taking that step. Keep you from stepping over the edge of the boat and walking toward Jesus. Jesus will never let you sink. He will always be there. So don't let failure scare you from taking a step toward Jesus today, doing what he asks you to do. Walk in faith today. He'll be right beside you. So whatever storm you're facing today, take the faith you have. Don't be fearful. Don't worry about failure. God will be there to see you through. God bless. Thanks for joining me for that morning cup of inspiration, and we'll see you next time.